This is the MMA Takes Podcast. With your host, Brian Petrie.
Let's go. UFC 256. It's a pay-per-view week. Doesn't kind of feel like a pay-per-view week, even though I think the co-main and the main event are fucking fire. But pay-per-view week means Devin Tejada's here. It means the guy in our group chat who says he's the best is picking fights. So you fade him or you ride him. You win some money. We'll see. The guy's got picks. I got picks. Next week, we're going to do me, Dev, and our current champ, Timbo, are going to end the year on a nice little great card. Great card there. Devin, are you excited? I mean, we were supposed to start at 8:30 almost an hour ago. I had some technical difficulties, and you had technical difficulties. We ironed it out. We're fucking ready. Are you ready, Devin Tejada?
Yeah, I'm ready as long as a tree doesn't fall through my window or a tornado or something else bad that could happen.
You have storms going on over there?
No.
Okay.
We might, though, with their technical difficulties and all the
it's been a bad luck. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna be a gentleman. I'm gonna let you, if you want to pick first or you want to pick second. It's up to you.
So are you looking at the bout order from Tapology?
I have. Hold on, that's a good question because Tapology. Yeah, so my card is exactly the same. No, it's not. It's different. They moved Mackenzie Dern up. So my first fight is Chase Hooper, Peter Barrett,
and then Tisha Torres, and then Billy Q, and then Moicano, and then Swanson.
Yeah, Moicano and Faez are way up the card for me. We'll get to that, but we'll iron that out. I just want to know if you want to do first pick or second pick.
I'll let you go first. It's been a while. It's been a while since we picked. I'll let you go first.
Gentlemen go first. Gentlemen goes first. Okay. So we're going Chase Hooper, who is 9-1-1. He's a minus 400 favorite. I got this line yesterday. The current line is a minus 390. He is fighting Peter Barrett, Boston. He's 11-4. He's a plus 310 underdog, significant underdog here. Listen, I don't like either of these guys. I make no bones about it. Chase Hooper is a funny kid, right? Young kid. Trained with Ben Askren after getting that ass whooped by the last time out. Peter Barrett stinks, right? Yusuf Law almost ended his career. But Barrett is one of those guys where it's like, he's durable, he's tough, he's been submitted a bunch of times. How good is Chase Hooper's wrestling, right? Chase Hooper's wrestling is the biggest weekness. He's good on the ground, he's crafty on the ground, he's got good submissions, he's got good cardio. He gets the shit kicked out of him most of the fight and then can come back. He's 9-1-1. I haven't been impressed with him from his UFC debut. I haven't been impressed with him from the Contender Series. I know he's young. I know he's an up-and-comer. But with our point system, if you're going to give me 310 on a guy like Peter Barrett when Chase Hooper has not proven to be a minus 400 favorite, I'm taking Peter Barrett all day, every day. Dev Tejada, who you got, babe?
I was going to probably do that underdog play as well just because I think Chase Hooper absolutely stinks. I think Chase Hooper – I don't think he has good wrestling. I think he's a terrible striker. I think his best asset is his toughness over his jiu-jitsu. I don't think I really don't think he's got a great jiu-jitsu game either. There's tons of guys at 45 that are way more dynamic jiu-jitsu players than him. I don't know why he's in the UFC. I know he got signed.
M&Ms, dude.
Yeah, that's
M&Ms.
It's. I don't really understand the UFC getting behind this kid because there's tons of other talent out there that deserve the spotlight way more than him. Peter Barrett, Contender Series guy. I don't think he's that great either. He's just tough. He's, one of those guys that's kind of too tough for his own good. That's his best asset as well as his toughness. He's a halfway decent striker as far as, that goes, but I don't think he's a UFC caliber fighter. The betting line is crazy. Chase Hooper being a 4-1 favorite is,
insane.
It's fucking stupid because how old is he? 21 years old. He's
12. I don't know how old he is.
He's super young and he's
young.
He's never not been hurt in a fight. He's starting off his
and he's from your part of the town,
Everett, Washington, I think, right?
Emma, wherever the fuck that's at.
What is it? Washigal?
No, Enumclaw. Is that what it is?
Enumclaw. Yeah, that's along the west side. There's not any crazy MMA gyms coming out of that area. I'm gonna rock with Peter Barrett too. I was gonna play him. I thought you were gonna play Chase Hooper. I'm just surprised that it's a 4-1. If you are one of those assholes that just likes to throw $50, $10, $20, whatever you can afford on a line, this is probably playable at that underdog line. Are you gonna play this?
I don't know. I wrote down hate, so I probably won't play it.
Yeah.
Just because the line's so wide. Cooper can win, but listen, our champ just chimed in. He says Barrett all day. And then I don't know if you saw this before. He wants to see some bag work. We'll get some bag work after the fight, after the picks. We're both on Barrett. The line's too wide. I think I would probably pick Chase Hooper if he was maybe close to a pick 'em.
Yeah.
But when you're giving me 3 points, you're giving me 3-1 against a guy who has a decent record, who's solid, against a guy who hasn't really done anything, hasn't proven anything. Like, he's marketable. He gets a lot of clicks. Like his YouTube videos where he went up and asked George Masvidal why he beat up his dad, which was everyone's joking as Ben Askren. Then that gets a lot of clicks, and that's what it is. All right, next up, female fight. Tecia Torres, Tiny Tornado, minus 500 favorite. She is fighting Sam Hughes. Short notice replacement for old Sammy Hughes. She's 6-1. She is a plus 360 underdog. Dev. Oh, okay. And let me just update you on the lines here. Tecia Torres is ballooned up to minus 620, and Sam Hughes is a plus 460. You lead the dance with the females.
Some places even have hers up to minus 715.
She's hot. She's up there.
She was on a 4-fight losing skid.
That's the hotter line. This is a chalky.
Yeah, this is chalk. Like,
for me,
this is fucking chalk zone. I'm gonna roll Tecia Torres here. She looked good. She looked good her last time out against Van Buren. She looked like she actually went back to the lab and rebuilt some sort of a game. She's a really small girl for this weight class. Her opponent has fought at catch weights of 120, and she's fought up at 125. She's gonna be a bigger girl. Hughes. Hughes is just. I don't think that she's UFC ready yet. She is on. She's on highlights from girls that fought and lost on the Contender Series. Tecia Torres was on a bad skid, and if she didn't have that Van Buren fight and was just coming off that skid to this fight, the line wouldn't be where it's at, and I might think about picking against her. But she really looked like she went back to the lab and rebuilt her game. Hughes is a competent striker, competent grappler. She's got like one knockout finish against an 0-0 opponent, so that doesn't really mean shit to me. I'm going to roll Tecia Torres. It's fucking chalky. Like, if you pick Hughes could fuck around and, win you our competition just because of the way that the point system is. But I don't think Hughes is going to win the fight. I'm going to roll Tecia Torres.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. It's going to be Torres for me. I will actually watch Hughes. I want to take Hughes since she's such a big dog. It's women's MMA. Anything fucking can happen. She just doesn't have it, right? She's sloppy. She keeps her chin in there. She's aggressive. She wants to put you against the cage. She's going to have the size on Tecia Torres, but other than that, she's not skillfully there yet. Torres is good. It's going to go to decision. It's going to be a classic Torres fight where she's going to outpoint you. She's going to throw really fast punches. She's going to try to get clinched up, try to get taken down. Not going to happen. Tecia Torres is the play here. I hate this fight too. This is both these fights. Lines are too wide. I don't want to bet them.
Crazy.
A fight that I love. Billy Q, minus 168 favorite. He's 15-2. He's fighting Gavin Tucker, 12-1. Let me see if the line has changed at all. Gavin Tucker is a plus 136, so it has held steady from yesterday. Besides maybe the co-main event and the main event, I love this fight the most on the card. It is just absolutely fucking bonkers. Billy Q's a guy, fallen the Ultimate Fighter, lost to Saul Rogers, Saul Alvarez is Canelo. Lost to Saul Rogers, who went on to win the thing, had some steroids issues, no shame in there. Took a while to get back to the UFC, which is surprising. Trains out of Tampa, goes up to New York every once in a while, but he's more of a Florida guy. On an absolute roll. This guy's cardio is fantastic. Pushes the pace. He's tall for division. He's 5'10". Gavin Tucker, a guy I've had my eye on for a long time. This kid is solid. He lost to Rick Glenn early in his UFC career, which was an ugly loss. He got taken down a bunch of times. Rick Glenn, same body type as Billy Q. So that scares me a little bit here, but Gavin Tucker is just so clean on the feet. He pieced up Justin James. He doesn't have the biggest power in the world. I don't know if he can put Billy Q out because Billy's durable as they come. He puts on a pace. But I think Billy's probably going to win maybe the third round, but Gavin's already going to be up 2. because Billy does put on a pace. It's going to be interesting to see how Gavin has improved from 3 years ago against the Rick Glenn, who is the exact same size as Billy Q, just a less of a fighter. I'm going Gavin Tucker here, and not only that, I need some dogs.
We don't need no meows. We don't need no cats.
Yeah,
dogs.
It's my underdog lock of the night, Gavin Tucker. Book it, write it down, write it up. Let's go. Who do you got, Gav?
You right. As soon as this fight got booked, I thought Gavin Tucker. That was my initial thought. Everybody is really high on Billy Quarantillo. I don't think he's as great as everybody says he is.
Don't you fucking steal my pick.
I'm rocking Gavin Tucker. I'm rocking Gavin Tucker. As soon the second this fight got announced, I texted you a few days ago and I was like, I've got my eye on some underdogs. He's one of them. I just don't think like the fight with Spike Carlisle told us a lot, and we were higher on Spike Carlisle than we probably should have been. And then Spike Carlisle's last time out really showed you what kind of opponent he truly is. And the fight that Billy Quarantillo had, people scored that fight against him. Some people thought Spike won that fight. I think that fight was too close for comfort. I think Gavin Tucker, Spike Carlisle was able to get Billy Quarantillo down, but wasn't able to control him on the mat. I think Gavin Tucker, outside of his striking is he's a good striker. He's a technical striker. He's a really technically sound fighter. He might be a little chinny, and that's what scares me.
He's been hurt before.
Been hurt. And then
Rick Glenn buzzed him a little bit.
Rick Glenn just beat the living fuck out of him. Like that.
Yeah, listen. Long time ago.
And I like Gavin Tucker. I think he's good. And I think positionally, when it comes to grappling, I think he's got good enough wrestling to take Billy Quarantillo down. And even if he doesn't hunt submissions, I think he can dominate him in the grappling positions. Even if it's just a lay and pray fight, I think he's good enough and technically enough sound in the grappling department to do that. And as far as striking, Billy Quarantillo was a professional boxer. But I don't think he's that great of a striker. He's clean. A lot of volume. Last guy he fought stunk, so I don't really give him, he finished him, but whatever. It's not like Gavin Tucker wouldn't get that same finish. And I like Gavin Tucker as an underdog. I really thought you were going to play Billy Quarantillo.
Yeah, I'm a Tucker guy. A lot of cappers that I respect. I haven't listened to any podcast yet. It's just the people on Twitter that are giving out picks right now. A lot of them, the majority of them have multiple units on Billy Q. I just don't see it. I think Billy Q is a durable, tough dude. The cardio concerns me. You hit it on the head. Gavin Tucker has been hit before, but Billy doesn't pack a ton of power. He's just a lot of volume. I feel like if Gavin Tucker can take a clean shot from Justin James, who I know isn't a world beater, but he's got that power.
He cracks.
He got dropped and he came back. I think he can take a shot from Billy Q. I'm actually surprised you're on Gavin Tucker.
Really?
I think he'd be hanging all over Billy Q's dick.
I just don't think Billy Quarantillo is that great. He might fuck around and come and change my mind. Come Saturday night, he might come out here and put a fucking clinic on. He might put a clinic on Gavin Tucker, and I might say, "Holy shit, I was wrong." But I just haven't seen it. And then his last fight, his fight before last was Spike Carlisle. I watched that fight again the other day, and I was just like, Spike Carlisle's not good.
I love how you keep saying Spark.
Spark, yeah. His nickname should be Spark, because that's how he fights. He's a crazy guy, but I just don't think Billy Q's that good in that fight with Carlisle. The way that Carlisle was able to get him down. Yes, he's big and strong, but Gavin Tucker likes to use that blast double. I think he's got good enough takedowns and good enough grappling to dominate him in that.
Hang on a second. What are you doing? Okay.
Put her on the mic.
You gotta go close the door, okay? Okay, go close the door. Okay, I love you. Daddy's live right now. I need you to close the door. I love you, Elsa. Unreal. You're right. I mean, I don't see a ton on Billy Q. A lot of people do. All right, let's move on. I hate to be the guy to report this, but I'm pretty sure Mackenzie Dern got a breast reduction. Her boobs are looking much smaller. I know she's in better shape and she's coming in lighter. They're still nice, but they're not the Whompers they were. So I'm very upset. But anyway, Mackenzie Dern -200. She's 9-1 -200 favorite. She's fighting Vivian Janaroba, 16-1 +160 underdog. Yeah, I go here.
I go.
You go?
I
Yeah.
go.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, you go. Go ahead.
Can we just not ignore the cameo from your daughter?
Yeah, when I put her on camera, she'd steal the fucking show. She's in her Elsa dress right now. I can't have her steal my thunder, dude. Okay, this is my time. This is Dad's time. I don't know why she came in. She was talking about a dog outside. I was like, "There's no dog outside."
That's hilarious.
What's she talking about? Dude,
we got speaking of dogs outside where I live, dude, we got like a fucking serious, you're gonna make fun of me. We got a serious
hang on. Look what Tim said. He said, I talked to Dev 30 minutes ago. He said Billy Q.
Tim, you're a fucking liar. It's your birthday, but don't lie on your birthday.
All right, go. Let's handicap this fight. It's getting late. Your boy's gotta work. Let's go. Handicap this fight.
Okay, so when this fight got announced, I was like, oh shit, Jandiroba, she's a legitimate jiu-jitsu player. She is she's a very, very good grappler, very, very good positional, jiu-jitsu player. But is she a phenom like Mackenzie Dern? That's what hangs me up. But another thing that hangs me up is Mackenzie Dern's fight with Yoder. Yoder has come to show to be a pretty good scrambler. I think that's where Yoder is best, and I think that's why she was able to give Dern some fits. But then I look at Jandiroba, I watch some of her fights, and I just think Mackenzie Dern, when she gets people on the mat, it's like she's like a phenom. She just fucking slice through your guard, put you in a bad position, and take your arm home, take your neck home. She's just really, really good.
Take anything of mine home that you want.
Yeah, seriously, right? But can we see her at 135, please?
Mackenzie Dern?
Yeah, because that's where you'll see the tits.
She's at 115 right now, dude. She's looking red city.
She's in great shape. She's out of a great camp. She's with Jason Perillo. And Perillo's a good coach. He's a great boxing coach, and that's where she needs the help. She's fought like Ryan DeMarco's terrible fight IQ in that last fight. Mackenzie Dern threw a high kick, did like 360s.
Go ahead and say it. I know you're working up to it. Talk about your girl. You're walking right into it.
No, I'm actually not. I wasn't going to bring up Hebos.
Hebos. Go ahead.
Yeah, Hebos just put a clinic on her, but that doesn't nothing to do with this fight. I'm going to go with Mackenzie Dern. I just think Mackenzie Dern, it's either going to be a terrible striking match, and Mackenzie Dern just hits a lot harder than Jandiroba. And Mackenzie Dern I feel like Mackenzie Dern thinks that she's a good striker, and she just doesn't.
She's working on it. Maybe
she is, and she's with one of the best to do it. Like who else could she be with? Others, outside of Perillo, maybe Trevor Whitman or Henry Hooft. But Perillo's a great coach. She's in a great place, and I really feel like she's taken her career a lot more serious. Her weight looks great. I think she's making a lot of good strides moving forward. I think Jandiroba is going to have to grapple her, and I think Mackenzie Dern, will she defend the takedown? No, but will she be a very willing guard player and have dangerous submissions off her back? Absolutely. And I think that's what she's going to do. She's probably going to submit Jandiroba.
Here's what's going to happen. Okay. Mackenzie Dern, if I ever meet her, I'm never going to look at her in her gorgeous face and be like, hey, I picked against you. It's never going to happen. Obviously, I'm picking Mackenzie Dern. My prediction, my little crystal ball, Jandiroba is a Brazilian. Mackenzie Dern has Brazilian heritage, speaks with a weird accent, but she's American. She was born in Arizona. She grew up in California. I don't know where this accent comes from, but she is a world-class jiu-jitsu practitioner. A lot of people who I listen to in the jiu-jitsu area are saying she's a phenom. She's amazing. Jandiroba has almost twice as many fights, has a lot of submissions on a record, is from Brazil, is a legit Brazilian black belt. Mackenzie Dern working on her stand-up. I think she's going to want to stand up, but Jandiroba is going to want to prove a point here. She's like, I'm taking this bitch down, and I'm going to prove that Brazilian jiu-jitsu from Brazil is going to be better. However, I think that's going to be a problem. Dern is slick off her back. Not the best of her back. She's better on top, but she is good off her back. She has some good submissions. Jandiroba is going to be a little slick, so it's not going to come easy. This is a fight. Obviously, I'm picking Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie Dern by submission is as a plus number right now, plus 170.
That's the only way she wins.
My prop shows tomorrow night, but I'm going to go ahead and save you a spoiler here. Mackenzie Dern by prop at plus 170 is something I'm looking at big time. All right, next up, Cub Swanson, plus 136. Let's see if this line is moved. He is fighting Daniel Pineda. Oh, excuse me, I was on the wrong thing. Yeah, so Cub Swanson is an underdog. Plus 136, Daniel Pineda, minus 168, 27-13 is Pineda's record. I go first, right? Yeah, I go first. You led that one. Listen, Pineda looked good in the PFL, right? Should have won $1 million, but he's on steroids. Had to run the UFC early on years ago, failed out, flunked out, lost to Matt Brown, lost a bunch of guys, but he's very good. Made his UFC debut again, most recently, looked very talented. The guy's been around forever. It's very rare you find a guy like Cub Swanson fighting a guy who has more fights than him. That doesn't happen very often. These guys are bound to meet up. Cub's 37, Pineda's 35. No spring chicken. A lot of people like Pineda in the spot being the favorite. He's minus 168. Not a crazy favorite. Definitely playable. Problem is Cub's coming off a knee injury. A lot of people don't trust him, but I just think Cub's a better fighter. I think he's a better striker. Obviously, Cub can get taken down and get submitted. His submission game has never been great. He's been tapped out by several people, but if he keeps the fight standing, he's gonna be okay. I think his striking is unique enough. I think he gets in wars. I think he has power, and I think he has cardio. I think Pineda's gonna fade in this fight. There's a reason he was on steroids in the PFL. I mean, he pissed hot. I'm talking hot with some real live shit. So if he had to take that to hang with some guys in the PFL, obviously USADA is changing the game a little bit. I don't think Pineda is going to have the cardio. I think it's going to be he's a 1-2 round fighter. I think Cub Swanson is going to take over the cardio in the third round. I see Cub winning the decision here. The prop is going to be over 2.5 for sure. It's going to the decision. I don't see a finish happening. Cub Swanson is an underdog play there. Boom. Write it. Lock it up.
I think this is going to be the first one we go opposite on.
Quit copying my picks, dude.
Yeah, I think Pineda is going to take this fight. I think Cub Swanson, in his grappling bout, Jake Shields fucking ripped his leg off. He's coming off a lot of injuries. He's older. He looked decent against Chrome Gracie, but if he has that fight with Pineda, he's going to lose that fight. I think Cub Swanson has lost fights, but he's really only lost to the top tier guys. Pineda's they're both vets. Swanson has more UFC fights and has done better in the UFC in total, but you could definitely consider both of them vets. This is a great fight. Pineda's coming off a great fight against Burns' brother. We both picked against him.
Herbert Burns.
Terrible name, Burns.
I picked Pineda, by the way. Don't say.
Did you?
I picked Pineda. Watch.
Really?
Yeah, I hate Herbert Burns. He knocked out my boy Nate the Train. You kidding me? You think I'm picking him?
I don't know. He looked great against Burns. Burns is a very, very top tier jiu-jitsu player. And I think that Pineda is probably going to come out and try to target that leg, throw a bunch of leg kicks, try to look for a takedown, and he might not sub Cub, but he could definitely TKO him with strikes on the ground. And I think he's competent enough of a striker to possibly hurt him on the feet. Cubs had a lot of wars, like the war at Doo Ho Choi. Even though he won that war, how much of that can you do, especially coming off of those surgeries?
I like the layoff, though. I think the layoff could help him with the fact that he's been in so many wars.
Rehabilitation, for sure. You definitely need to have you definitely need long layoffs between wars like that.
He's also got that trainer, the same trainer TJ Dillashaw has. So maybe he's just smarter with his EPO. I don't know. That's his Cub Swanson I'm talking about. So I know.
Anyone from that camp, bro. They're all
big question mark behind the camp.
You said Pineda's a fucking steroid user, but then look at you out there.
He's been caught. I'm sure there's other guys who are but haven't been caught. All right, let's go to the main card here. You have Pineda, right? I got that right?
Yep, Pineda.
All right, next up, Junior Dos Santos, who is plus 330 underdog. He is 21-8. What is his record? 21-8. He is fighting Cyril Gane, who is 6-0. He's a minus 450 favorite. Let me see if this line has moved.
Fucking hate it.
People are steaming Ghana 450. So he's 450. Line has stayed the same. Who am I? You're first. You're first.
I hate this line. I hate the line because Cyril Gane, people are acting like I was listening to a podcast earlier and they're like talking about his crazy knockout power. How many fucking knockouts does he have? None. Like how many finishes? In his MMA record.
Really, he's got none? He's got one. So he's got one to Adam Daiska by punches, and then he's got Souza uppercut and ground and pound. That was his last fight before he came to the UFC. and he's got 2 submissions in the UFC and then a decision win.
So he's not a vicious striker by any means.
He's the big guy that trains with, or that spars with Francis Ngannou. That's how he got presented when he came to the UFC.
Yeah, and he's got a great ground game. Like he's got a heavy hook, he'll throw heel hooks and he's a heavyweight. Like last week we saw do that with someone like Frank Mir, So he's a big bricked up dude, super chiseled, super great shape.
Reminds me of me, right?
Like, yeah. with the COVID.
I don't have it. Go ahead.
So I don't like the line.
Why? The why?
Minus 500, right? Is that what you said?
Minus 450. I mean, 5-1.
I saw him at minus.
Did
Yeah, that's just crazy. I think JDS's problem, like he did well against Rosenstrike in the first round. The problem was that there was a second round, and that's when he got hit. I think he is still got decent footwork. He's still got decent hand speed. He's still got good power. His chin is just gone.
Take him.
It's just gone.
You take Dos Santos, you can't be. You're not Chalk Tejada anymore.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
You're worried about it, dude.
I'm just. What are you pouring up, dude? I hear a crack.
Fucking beer, dude. Fucking getting wasted.
Mountain beer. Show it to the camera. What is it?
It's I can't. I mean, no free ads, but here's a free ad right here. Gus's Fried Chicken, best fried chicken in the world, baby.
Oh, that's Mountain Dew. I can see it through the cup. Yeah, like hazardous. So I'm torn on this fight. I don't have anything written down. I was gonna go opposite of you, but I'm second, so that doesn't fucking work.
I'll go opposite of you. What do you think about that? Go ahead and pick your pick. I'll go opposite of you.
Part of me wants to pick JDS, but it's just like I can't. It's hard, man. I'm really torn on it. I literally have a question mark written down here on my phone.
Do it.
Can Gane come out and eat JDS's best shot and pressure him and hurt him? Yes.
Now remember, just to help you out here, because I got big brain. JDS looked pretty good against Rosenstruck his last fight. He got caught. He got caught with a fucking hammer, but he came in shape. He looked ripped up. People were flirting with him going to 205.
Oh, I know. This is all. This is what's making me be on the fence. Like he knocked out Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis stinks, but it's also Derek Lewis. Would you pick Derek? Would you pick Derek Lewis over Cyril Gane? Probably not because of the wrestling.
No one takes down fucking Junior Santos, by the way.
I know.
Curtis Blades going to take him down. Curtis Blades hurt him on the feet.
I know. It's just can Cyril Gane do the same thing? Yes. I'm gonna take JDS for 5-1. I'll take 6 points on it.
Well, no, you get 3 points, bro. He's only he's a plus 330.
Oh, what? I thought it was. Oh, okay. Hold on.
Gane is a 5-1 favorite.
Oh, okay. So you get minus 5 points.
You get 3 points, dude. Ain't no fucking. I mean, that's 3 fucking points.
Yeah, I'm taking JDS for the underdog play. Just
good. I tricked you. I played a mental midget on you. I'm going Gane. Easy money, easy buckets. Guess what? Going to be by decision too. No finishing this. Let me look up that a lot of people think like you hit the nail on the head. A lot of people think there's. I will say this: if there's going to be a finish, I think JDS is probably going to knock him out.
If he still has the hand speed and the power.
Dude, over 1.5 rounds is minus 118. That's like almost even money you got to steam that. That's in. Will the fight go to the distance? Yes, plus 192. I'm going to hit both.
Yeah, fucking bet that.
Both those I'm hitting. I'm going Gane, though. Listen, I agree with everything you said. I was going to go opposite you no matter what. I think JDS has a path to victory here. He's faster. He's got faster hands. He does have true knockout power. He's getting a little older, but listen, he's fought fucking some of the best guys in the world. Yeah, he's lost. Gane hasn't fought in a while. He's 6-0. He looked pretty good against Tanner Boser, but Tanner Boser kind of shit the bed his last time out, so he's not like this world beater that we kind of thought he would be. Gagne just is a big, strong, powerful dude who has power, just natural power, but I don't think he has the speed, and I don't think he's getting JDS down. I think it's going to be a close fight. I think it's going to come to a decision. I really think it's going to be if Chris Lee scores his fight for who the fuck ever, because that guy's an idiot. So
I pray to God he's not. Is he reffing this weekend? Or is he judging this weekend?
I have no idea. I don't know if they've announced those not. Okay, so next up, this fight has moved a lot. I had to change the line multiple times. Kevin Holland, old big mouth. He is currently plus 104 underdog. What is he? 20-5. 20-5. Ray Souza, who is 26-8. He's a minus 136 favorite. When I wrote this down yesterday, I had Jacare as the underdog. And then late last night, I just double checked. He was a pick'em. Now today, Jacare is the favorite. Kevin Holland is the underdog. I lead the dance here. This fight is probably one of the hardest fights to pick on the card because, as you know, I'm not a huge Kevin Holland guy, right? I think Kevin Holland has really made a name for himself in this pandemic because he's fighting a lot. He has a fantastic personality. He has really good stand-up. He's long. He's lanky. He can knock you out. His cardio is okay. His ground game, I think, is a huge question mark. Listen, Darian Stewart took him down twice, and Darian is just going to hold you down and beat you up. He's no submission game. Brandon Allen submitted him a while ago. Now, a while ago, Kevin Holland's a guy who I think is just really, really coming on during this pandemic and just really hitting his stride to the pandemic, but he's fighting nobody. The last guy he fought, he landed like broke his fucking neck. That guy shouldn't be anywhere near the UFC. They shouldn't even let him to buy a ticket to the UFC, let alone fight in the UFC. So the lack of competition and Kevin Holland's look good against weaker competition. I think the Joaquin Buckley knockout, great knockout. Joaquin Buckley's on a roll right now, one of the best knockouts I've ever seen against Impa a couple months ago. That's going to be Kevin Holland's signature win at this point. However, Jacare, 41, older, had COVID, hasn't fought in a while, looks to be in incredible shape, but he went 5 rounds, 5 or 3 or 4, 5 rounds. I can't remember if it was a 5-round fight. Anyway, with Jan Blachowicz, the current light heavyweight champion, at 205. Jacare is not a 205er. And he lost a split decision. It was a fairly close fight. If Jan Blachowicz can't knock out Jacare, I don't think Kevin Holland can. Kevin Holland's a tall, lanky guy. I think Jacare is going to compensate that with clinching, grappling. If Darren Stewart could take Kevin Holland down, Jacare can take him down. And if Jacare takes him down, I think it's a fucking wrap. I'm going Jacare, and I'm going to prop it for a submission at plus 195 as well.
So here's a problem that I have with
your problem is that Kevin Holland's your guy.
Yeah, I like Kevin Holland, but the problem that I have with him is that you look at the Brandon Allen fight, too willing to grapple. He is that guy that he can be in imminent danger. He has the same problem that Kelvin Gastelum has. He can be in imminent fucking danger, and before he realizes that he's in trouble, he's in trouble.
Be a dog.
When I saw the line at Jacare being an underdog, I was like, this is my underdog lock. Absolutely, because I feel like Kevin Holland has a better shot of beating someone like Jack Hermansson or even Marvin Vettori over Jacare, even though
see anybody with good submission worries me. I agree with you, Marvin Vettori. Marvin Vettori been a really good fight. Hermansson, though, again, if Kevin likes Hermansson's really good on the ground.
He's great on the ground, but I feel like Jacare, even though Hermansson dominated Jacare on the ground, I still feel like Jacare is a more dangerous dude. I feel like Jacare has heavier hands. I feel like Jacare is better in the clinch. A lot of the fight he fought with Jan Blachowicz was against the fence in the clinch. Mm-hmm. I think he's got a good enough chin. Who's the last dude to knock out Jacare? Robert Whitaker. Nate, tell me the last time he was knocked out before them was like in 2008 or something like that. Like he's not getting knocked out.
He's been hurt before.
He's been hurt. Kevin Gastelum clipped him.
Kevin Gastelum rocked him. Yeah. I'm sure Blachowicz did. I can't remember that fight all that well.
It was a fucking shitty fight. That was like
it was 5 rounds. It was 5 rounds.
Jan Blachowicz hit him. Jacare didn't want anything to do with standing with him, so it was just kind of like a clinch, a fight for position against a cage of clinch fight. It was shitty. As much as I like Jan Blachowicz, it was a shitty fight. But I'm in on Jacare too. I think Kevin.
You're gonna regret that because Kevin's your boy.
I like Kevin Holland. I just like his style, I like his swag. I like that he doesn't give a fuck. But at the same time, like his fight with Brandon Allen, he was chewing him up. He had him hurt, and then he got taken down and he got submitted.
I thought for sure you were going Kevin Holland when he switched to under. I thought you were going to take that underdog points there.
How does he win though? That's what I'm thinking. Is how does he win? He can outstrike Jacare, but at the same time, if Jacare had enough of a fight IQ to be able to pressure through Jan Blachowicz' strikes and get Jan Blachowicz to fight off the cage, he's gonna do the same thing with Kevin.
A lot of people I saw on Twitter, they're picking Kevin solely on the fact that Jacare is 41.
But that doesn't fucking matter, dude. You hate Yoel Romero, but I mean, Yoel's 44 years old. Look at him. Like, there's tons of guys that are old that can fight. Yeah, but whatever. Look at
if Jacare loses his fight, I think he's cut. By the way,
Jan Blachowicz is fucking like 38, and he's the light heavyweight champion.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking breaking dude's face. Yeah, he's like 37, about to turn 38.
I think he just looks old. Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I know, right?
Right. Yeah, he is. He's gonna turn in February. He'll be 38.
He's turning 38, so he's gonna fight at 38. Yeah, so he's an old. There's a lot of guys that are older that are still. I mean, they're still fucking they're still getting it done. 185 has like a lot of those older guys.
Let me tell you this. I think Yanni the Greek picked Kevin Holland. Does that change your mind at all?
I don't listen.
Come on, dude, it's Yanni the Greek, man.
All that guy does is just fucking show his beaver teeth on camera. And
Yanni the Greek. It does matter. Timbo saying it does matter, bro. The age matters. That's the champ that's talking. You're on Jacare, though. We're both on Jacare.
I just don't see Kevin Holland is probably going to get off some strikes, but the Darren Stewart fight scares me. Like, if Darren Stewart's taking him down and dominating on top, Jacare's finishing him. Jacare's ground and pound is deadly. Jacare's going to take 10 home. Like,
when Kevin Holland fights, you on text seem to be a very big Kevin Holland fan. So if Kevin Holland goes out and dominates, you can't be like, oh, Kevin Holland, I should have picked him. You should have been like, I fucked up.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. All right.
If he goes out there and fucking and puts hurting on him in the first round and then finishes him in the second round, similar to Buckley, I will say, something like that. I'll say, damn, I was wrong about Kevin Holland.
All right, here we go. We got to get 3 final fights here. We got to get to these. It's almost 10 o'clock. Your boy is old. Renate Moicano, plus 122 underdog. He is 14-3-1. He is fighting Rafael Aziz, who is, what is he? He's 8-1. He's a minus 150 favorite. Let me see if that line held true. Devin, you lead the fight, so you can go ahead and start talking. Yep, everything's the same.
Yeah.
Moicano's the underdog. Fiziev is the favorite.
I think Fiziev is good. I also think Moicano's good. I think Moicano should have probably been up at 55 a while ago. He didn't have the same durability at 45. Moicano's a competent, above competent grappler. He's a good grappler. He's got good submissions. A lot of his submissions come off of guys that are diving in on takedowns, and he likes to get that front headlock position and take that home. I think Fiziev is definitely the faster guy. I think he's the more athletic guy. He probably hits a little bit harder, and he's probably the better striker. He shot some naked takedowns against Diakiese, which was kind of worrisome because if he does that to Moicano, he's going to get submitted. I think Fiziev, he's the head instructor. I think he's out of AKA Thailand.
Tiger Muay Thai.
He's Tiger Muay Thai. Okay. So yeah, he's the head striking coach at Tiger Muay Thai. He's got crazy dexterity, crazy movement. He's got a couple highlights where he's, keeping his feet planted and just dropping, bringing his whole body back, dodging head kicks. I think Fiziev is just going to be the better striker. Moicano's definitely he's more of a veteran in MMA, but Fiziev's also got a lot of Muay Thai background. So I would say they're both veterans in the fight game in total. I just think Fiziev is going to be able to outstrike him. He has power. He doesn't have the finishes, but you could say that's because he's fought solid guys. But I like looking at the Jose Aldo fight against Moicano. I look at that for tape study, and I'm like, damn, can Fiziev do that? Probably, and probably even a little bit better. So I'm going to go with Fiziev on this one.
That was the classic. I thought you were going to go, Fiziev's great. His striking's great. I want to make out with them, but I'm going to take Moicano. That's the classic Dev. I'm all over Moicano in this fight. Listen, Fiziev, I went in and looked at some of his fights, right? He hasn't fought nearly the level of competition as Moicano has. And also his power I think it's a little underrated. I don't think he's really established that, and he doesn't throw all that often. He's not the most active guy. Mark DeCasey should have done more in that fight. I was screaming at it. He was taking body kicks and getting hurt to the body, and those were very painful when he does the Saenchai, rollback matrix style. But other than that, I just think he's kind of a flashy guy with not a lot of substance. I think Moicano's been in there with Jose Aldo's. He's been in there with fucking Brian Ortega's, and he was winning that fight before he got caught.
Sure.
He's only been knocked out by finished by some of the best in the world. I mean, Chan Sung Jung caught him in the first round. Aldo busted him up in the second round, and then Ortega caught him with that. His last time out, Rindeka choked really early in the first round. I think if this gets to the ground, I think Fiziev is fucking trouble. I think Moicano is competent on his feet. I don't think he's obviously he's not a world-class striker.
He's got a good jab. He has a good jab.
He's long for a division. I like him at 155 as opposed to 145. He's got long arms. I'm going to take the shot. He's plus 122. I like that. This is a fight I'm going to bet. I don't have any props for this fight. I really can't. I don't get a read on how this fight's going to end up. I just see Moicano winning with that plus number next to his name. So we're split again. All right, co-main event. El Cucuy, Tony Ferguson. He is 25-4. He's fighting Charles Oliveira, who is 29-5. He's a minus 184 favorite. And let me make sure that stayed because this line's been moving a little bit. Ferguson minus 178 now, and Charles Oliveira is a plus 144 dog. I go, and I love this fight. I think this fight is world-class matchmaking. I kind of want to see, selfishly,
Hooker, man. Hooker.
Michael Chandler.
Oh.
Well, Hooker would have been good too, but Michael Chandler versus Oliveira. Michael Chandler versus Ferguson would have been good just because he's such an exciting fighter. He's kind of the new name in there, and they promoted him on the pay-per-view. But they obviously have plans with him for that January card, either against Hooker or Gaethje is what I'm hearing. But this is a good fight. This is a fight that kind of came together last minute. Tony Ferguson threatened to not fight if Oliveira's missed weight. Oliveira's never missed weight at 155. He's missed weight at 145. Oliveira's not known for his cardio. I just rewatched the Kevin Lee fight. He definitely looked good in that Kevin Lee fight. He was dominating the stand-up. When it went to the ground, Kevin Lee did a lot better than people give him credit for in the early beginning, and then Kevin Lee slowed down. But Oliveira really wasn't there either. He just caught that neck, and once you give him that neck, it's over. Tony Ferguson doesn't get tired. Tony Ferguson, I know he got a beating his last time out, and this fight to me is going to prove if Tony Ferguson washed or not. If he goes out there and he gets his fucking head kicked in again and gets finished, then I think he's washed. I mean, that's not taking anything away from Oliveira. This is a fight Tony Ferguson should come out, right? Oliveira's not the biggest puncher in the world. His striking's getting a lot better. His best friend is Alex Pereira, who's over there in LFA. The guy who knocked out Izzy's over in LFA, knocking dudes out. They're best friends. They train together in the same gym. Oliveira has a beautiful left hook, just like Pereira does. His striking, his kicks are all really on point. But Tony is a fucking machine. Tony's going to march forward. His cardio's on point. I don't see him getting submitted. I don't see him submitting Oliveira. I really don't know if this is ever going to go to the ground unless Tony wants it to. He might. I don't know. Tony's a wild man. I can't predict what he's going to do. I just see Tony marching forward, piecing him up, taking shots himself. But by the third round, Oliveira's face is going to be a mess. He's quit before. He doesn't like being in those dog fights. I know that was a while ago, but once you're a quitter, I'm going to tag you as a quitter. So I'm picking Tony Ferguson and
send him home. Send him home early.
I think Tony Ferguson stops the fight. Boom. I know who you're picking, Dev, and I know who you're picking.
If this was a 5-round fight, it's a definite stoppage for Tony Ferguson. I'm actually, I'm all in on Tony Ferguson too. I don't like him lately. I don't know where his head's at. I was talking to Tim earlier today, and I said he's going to crush Charles Oliveira. I think Tony Ferguson.
What's happening?
Tony Ferguson always fights mad, but this time he's actually mad. Like he seems like he's always pissed about something. But like, when was the last time we seen Tony Ferguson get the living shit beat out of him, have something to prove? Tony Ferguson is going to come out here. Charles Oliveira folds under pressure. I don't think either one of them have actually fought true upper echelon guys in the division. None of them have fought Hooker. None of them have fought only Justin. And look what Justin did to Ferguson. But I don't think Charles Oliveira is that high caliber. The reason why he's ranked is because of Kevin Lee. I went back and watched the Kevin Lee fight at like 2 a.m. the other day. They both have that as a similar opponent. I think Kevin Lee did a little bit better against Ferguson, but Kevin Lee definitely lost the stand-up to Oliveira. Oliveira did throw a lot of clean, straight strikes. He likes that jumping front kick. He was kicking Kevin Lee in the face and shit. I think Kevin Lee expected to be the better striker than Oliveira, and he wasn't. I just think that you have to be – no, the way that you beat Tony Ferguson in a striking competition is you can be a worse striker than Tony Ferguson, or you can be a better striker than Tony Ferguson, and he can still beat you. Reason being is because he just has the tenacity where he just stays in your face. He's going to out-cardio you. He's going to eat your best shots, and he's going to keep moving forward. Even though Justin Gaethje was piecing him up, he still threw that beautiful uppercut and knocked him down and could have potentially finished Gaethje if there was more time in that round. He can do that to Oliveira. Absolutely. He's going to push Oliveira forward. Just like you said, Oliveira, he has good scrambles, great jiu-jitsu, but that is when the opponent initiates a takedown. Normally, he's not looking for takedowns. If anyone's looking for takedowns, it's Tony Ferguson with his crazy Imanari rolls that he likes to throw. But he only throws those when I don't think he's going to come out and do that against Oliveira.
I mean, Tony has a wrestling background. Apparently, he's really good. I can't remember a time he's taken anybody down.
He has that one submission in the beginning of one of the rounds where I don't remember what fight it was, where he throws an Imanari roll, gets the heel hook, and
he's really good submissions. Like he tapped Kevin Lee. He's got some good submissions.
Triangles.
If he's ever really taken anyone down, and I mean, I don't think he'll start with fucking Oliveira.
No, and if you look at the Paul Felder fight, Paul Felder is not known for he's a building fighter. Paul Felder. He's not like a guy that's going to come in your face and pressure you. He stopped Oliveira by ground and pound. Why can't Tony do that? I think Tony hits just as hard as Paul Felder. Yeah. He's gonna cut you up more.
In the Kevin Lee fight in the first or second round, towards the end of the round, when Kevin denied all of Oliveira's submissions, he was pinned against the cage, and Kevin Lee was landing some heavy shots. I think if that's Tony Ferguson, that fucks you up. Tony got fucking lead in his gloves or something.
And we've talked about this before. Tony Ferguson doesn't have knockout power, but he has like a cumulative. It's just like you said. It's like his wraps have plaster in them or something.
Yeah, it's thuddy. There's boxers out like that, like Manny Pacquiao. He's got knockout power. Manny Pacquiao, if you watch some of the guys he fights, he just fucks up your face. He just has that different thudding kind of power. And Tony's the same way. Tony's just got that. I mean, a couple jabs. Oliveira's. I mean, when's the last time we seen Oliveira cut? Like the guy's just not made for that kind of war.
I don't think so.
I texted you yesterday and I said, if I get all your fights right, I get a point. Obviously, I haven't got them all right. This was the fight I thought for sure you're taking Oliveira. You haven't really said all that many great things about fucking Ferguson. I actually would like Oliveira to win because I think, he's a younger guy and I think he had more excitement. We've seen Tony Ferguson there. And he but he gets hurt a lot and he fights like once a year. Oliveira seems like an interesting dude. And if he really can put it together and he really can put that, the weakness and the quitting behind him and really become a full-fledged fighter, then he's really interesting. But like the matchup, I think just favors Ferguson.
Well, I got one more.
I'm shocked that you picked Ferguson.
Well, let me ask you a question. So if he does beat Tony Ferguson, who does he fight next? It's either going to be Dan Hooker, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, or possibly Michael Chandler. If he fights Justin Gaethje, what happens to him?
The rumors are, Gaethje, if it goes to the ground, Gaethje might get submitted. It looks like when Gaethje fought Khabib, and I know Khabib's the best in the world, but it looks like Gaethje has never trained jiu-jitsu in his life. I saw that triangle coming a mile away, and he rolls right into it. I'm like, what is this guy doing? Oliveira is slick on the ground. Listen, who he fights next, like there's a lot of guys outside looking in because there's that little mini tournament that we want to build to see who the lightweight champion is. Drew Dober and Islam Makhachev might be in March.
Yeah, they're matched up supposedly.
Those are two guys that not a lot of people are talking about because they're lower in the rankings that could easily catapult up here. I would love to see the winner of that fight Oliveira or Ferguson or any of these guys.
Or Dariush and what's his name? Whoever wins that fight could possibly. I don't know if they'll move him up like that. They'll probably fight the loser.
I don't like Dariush. I don't. I think he's got. I just don't like him. I'm not going to
fight Ferreira. What about Ferreira?
Diego's okay. He's gotten a lot better. Again, I think they get fed to like if Diego fought Drew like they were supposed to. I think Drew Dober stops him.
I think so too.
But that's just my opinion because I think highly of Dober. All right, let's go main event time. Deiveson Figueiredo, who was 20-1, he's a minus 355 underdog, or excuse me, favorite, not underdog. What am I thinking? Let me see because I know this line has probably changed a little bit. So he's minus 340, so he's gone down. And Brandon Moreno is a plus 260. Brandon Moreno's record is 18-5-1. Devo, main event time. I know who you're going with. Just break it down for me. Tell me who you got. I'll fucking run head first through this wall right here if you pick Moreno. But
I'm not picking Moreno. If you look at striking differentials as far as strikes thrown and dropping opponents, Davison Figueiredo has like a similar strike differential to Francis Ngannou. Like that's like he drops somebody. It's like one out of 15 strikes he throws drops his opponent when you crunch the numbers. Like that's fucking stupid at flyweight. I think Brandon Moreno has the better gas tank. Sure. I think he is probably equal or better scrambler. I think the problems that Moreno will face is that when he gets hit, sometimes he'll stay in the pocket and be willing to throw combinations back, 2, 3, 4 punch combinations to try to win that exchange. He has the same problem that someone like Robert Whittaker does, where he's not willing to end an exchange. He's willing to let his combinations and let an exchange maybe run on too long and try to put too many punches on the end of a combination, especially after getting caught clean. Figueiredo doesn't throw a lot of hand combinations. He'll throw like a low kick and a straight left or something like that. He doesn't have crazy 1, 2, 3, 4 punch combinations. He's a dynamic striker, but doesn't throw dynamic combinations. He's just got big power and he's really, really accurate. He has similar accuracy to an Anderson Silva or a Conor McGregor. He has that type of accurate striker, just that pinpoint laser. And when he touches people, when people like Dan Henderson, his punch looked like a hard punch. Figueiredo's punches don't even look like hard punches. I know they're hard, obviously, like look what he did to Benavidez. He's just so accurate. I think if you look at Figueiredo's last fight, you could say he was losing until he got that guillotine. But that's where Moreno is going to probably see fits in the grappling. I think he's going to come and try to grapple and try to impose his will and gas out Figueiredo, because that's really how Figueiredo lost his fight against Formigas. He maybe got a little bit tired and didn't do as well in the grappling. I just think Figueiredo is streaking. He's really, really confident. He's one of those guys that fights with his confidence well. I think in those grappling exchanges, Moreno may get caught up also in some type of submission. And it looked like when Figueiredo got his last submission, it looked like Perez was like sliding his head out, but you just know Figueiredo is so fucking strong that he was like, you're not getting your head out of the submission. I think Moreno can get caught in a submission, and I think Figueiredo is a good grappler, has great jiu-jitsu, but he has a strong man jiu-jitsu. Like he's just so strong that when he takes your arm, you don't get it back. When he takes your neck, you don't get it back. When he hits your chin, you wake up, you get pulled off the floor. I think Moreno is probably going to have success in this fight. He might win a round or two. I just think he's going to get caught, get hurt, and probably submitted. I could see this being a similar to the Joseph Benavidez, where Figueiredo has pressuring footwork, but he doesn't have pressuring boxing or pressuring kicks. He likes to pressure you with his footwork, make you slip a bad angle, and then that's when he likes to fire shots. He's got great footwork, and he's really good at taking the outside foot, cornering you into somewhere and just throwing fucking strikes. And I just think Moreno's going to run into something, and I think Figueiredo's streaking. I think he's just too good. But Moreno is fucking good. He's probably the second best flyweight in the division. It's similar to middleweight, I would say, with Izzy being above and beyond everybody else and Robert Whittaker being that number 2. I don't see many people beating Moreno.
I'm gonna agree with you. I think Figueiredo is gonna win. He's my motor lock, by the way, as well. Motor lock him up. That's better than I know he's pricey, but I think he's the best bet. I actually disagree with you. I don't think Moreno's all that good. I've never been overly impressed with him besides the Kai Kara France fight. I mean,
Askarov, that's pretty impressive.
Askarov, he had a draw, so he didn't win that fight. And
he didn't win.
No, he didn't win. And he's been cut by the UFC before as well. Pantoja has beat him twice. He couldn't get over that Pantoja hump. When he got cut by the UFC, I think it might have been a little bullshit. He lost, 2 fights in a row and they cut him. Anyway, I don't think he's all that great. I never have. I think he's getting better. He's a guy that I talked about after the Kai Kara France Formiga fight. He looked good because Formiga's a solid dude, but I wanted more from him. Excuse me. Brandon Ravel fight. Ravel's a wild man, right? That was a back and forth fight. That was an awesome fight. But Moreno got hit a lot, right? And Raval, excuse me, not Ravel. Raval hurt his shoulder, right? I think Moreno would have won that fight. I picked Moreno to win, but it was one of those circumstances where it's not like he didn't finish the fight. It's the fight got finished because
freak injury. It's
Moreno is a guy that's very likable. He's a sweet guy. You know, he speaks really broken English. He's got like 40 kids and he's like 20 something. He's a great guy. They're promoting him up. You know, a lot of Mexican stars, they get promoted. And I think he is, since flyweight is very light. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve a title shot. He 100% does. He's been calling Figueroa out since the beginning. He's been wanting to fight this guy forever. Figueroa is just a different beast right now. This guy's got some swag to him. He walks in there. He's fucking mean. He's got power. He's got submission. You have to be a world-class wrestler to hold this guy down. And even then, I don't think you can because
you get choked.
You got to watch out for your chokes. He's going to stand back up. He's huge for the division. The best thing that's happened for Figueroa is he stayed in Vegas and he kept his weight down. Yep. I think Moreno's fucked here. I don't know the props yet, but I think it's going to be a finish. I think Moreno's tough. I think he's going to come out. He's going to get a valiant effort in that first round. He's going to be very active in the first round. But Figueroa once Figueroa starts finding that right hand, he starts finding these punches, it's going to be over. And Moreno gets hit way too much. It's going to be Figueroa all day. I'm very confident in that. That's going to be a parlay because he's pricey. So I'm going to put him in a parlay, but I'm also going to bet him straight. Heavy. All right, Devo, we split on a few. But I'm gonna need your mortal lock, your underdog lock, and you send him home, Bubba.
All right. I wanted to play Figueroa as my mortal lock because I really do think he's gonna finish. But I'll go with Tony Ferguson as my mortal lock. I really do think he's gonna go out there and finish Oliveira. I think in the co-main and the main event, it's gonna be a finish in both of those fights. I really do. I feel like Ferguson can finish Oliveira. Just look at that fucking Paul Felder fight, and he wilted. And he's wilted in fights before. And I just think Tony is, even though Tony's fucking crazy, Tony said in an interview to MMA Fighting, he said, I don't think I got a title shot because I'm Mexican. Hey, dude. Yeah, Brandon Moreno is fighting above you, getting a title shot, and he's fucking Mexican.
And he's not Mexican-American. He's Mexican. You know?
Yeah. So it's like, dude, come on, Tony. Like, you don't have to say that shit. Like, that's just crazy.
All right, so you're send him home. You can make multiple send him homes. You can do send him home for Tony or Figueroa, whatever you want.
So my mortal lock is Tony. My send him home is gonna be I'm gonna go with Figueroa as a send him home. I think that's how he wins a fight. That's how Figueroa wins his fights. Fucking finishes people.
Now I need that underdog lock, baby. Who you telling people at home? The people listening to this, hey, go to your bookie and put money on this guy as the under. He's gonna win. Tell me.
So the only ones I have are Peter Barrett, Gavin Tucker, Santos.
Yeah, Dos Santos.
And that's it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going Gavin Tucker. That's going to be the most solid.
Come on, man.
Is that what you picked too?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Literally, we're split on. We literally have. I have a send him home on Tony. He's your mortal lock. I have my mortal lock in Devison. He's your send him home. We both have the same underdog lock. The only difference we have is the Cub and Pineda, Junior versus Gagne, and then the Moicano versus Fizivas. Yeah. All right, man. It's a tough card. Final pay-per-view of the year. We're going to pick next week against the champ, Timbo. Dev, appreciate it, bud.
Take care, man.
Get some sleep, Palo. That's Dev Tejada right there, baby. And we're ending. Thanks, Twitter.